scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What is good, everybody? It's your boy MJ up in the building. You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. If it's your first time tapping in, what is good? Welcome. Another Trap Talk with MJ. Got episode 108. Damn, we're moving. Let's go. If this is your first time tapping in, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the dislike button, drop a comment. Wow, that one hurt. Let me know how you're liking these Trap Talks, man. I want to know what your feedback is, not only for myself, but for the guests. The guests want to know what the feedback is too. Because a lot of these people have come on this show for the first time. So your feedback means a lot, more than you know. So drop that comment because, subscribe. Because if you subscribe, you stay on top of every single podcast I come out with. I don't fucking play games, guys. Every Thursday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Boom, Heat. Like last week's Heat. Who saw last week's Heat? Live in person. Levance and Wesley from Straight Fire Reptiles. If you guys missed that episode, highly suggest you go check that out. There was a lot going on last weekend with Tinley in full effect. A lot of people busy. So if you skip that episode, it happens. But I'm telling you right now, you don't want to like permanently skip it. I would, if I was you, I'd go down the link below, click on that last episode and see Wesley and Levance's Trap Talk session. Wesley's first time in camera. We even had little Anthony, the CEO, up in the building. Family vibes all day, every day. Before we get started, and I say hi to all my trappers, all the early birds. I see you guys up in the building. You guys know what the deal is. You know what the deal is. For the freshest and bestest rodents delivered to your doorstep, Cold Blooded Cafe is your jam. $30 flat rate shipping, professionally packed, anywhere in the United States. It's the real deal. Holyfield, Cold Blooded Cafe. Shout out to the whole Cold Blooded Cafe team, and thank you for sponsoring the trap. Shout out to John and Alex over at Sim Container. If you got eggs, put them bad boys inside of a sim box. You will thank me later or thank me sooner. I don't know how your guys' season going. Mine's still crack-a-lacking. Really happy with what is going on here at the trap. So yeah, if you guys want to know exactly what I do on a day-to-day, man, check out my vlogs. I do a vlog every Friday that I drop. And then this week's vlog is actually going to be a little bit about Tinley, and it's going to be about my trip to the Reptarium. Because look at my wife. Man, what a hot-ass wife right here. Holding such a cool-ass, aggressive animal, especially after what I went through. Look at her. She's amazing. But anyways, that drops tomorrow. Make sure you guys don't check it out. Make sure you guys don't sleep. And let me finish the sponsor so we can really get down to the nitty gritty. Shout out to Focus Cube Habitats. The future of enclosures are now tapped into us. Make sure you guys go check them out. Flex in Texas. Steven and Ashley doing very, very big things. And yeah, shout out to Steven and Ashley for supporting the trap. You guys mean a lot. And then shout out to Jesse and the Freedom Breeder crew. Man, may I say more? What else can I say about Freedom Breeder? The real deal, Holyfield, when it comes to Freedom Breeder rack, when it comes to racks, professionally kept, all that great stuff. I'm telling you right now, if you got a Freedom Breeder rack, you know where it's at. And yeah, man, shout out to Jesse for always making big moves. And then shout out to the big dog himself, always evolving pythons. Guy's having a major crazy season right now. If you guys follow Miguel, then you kind of know exactly what I'm talking about. But please, if you guys want an inspiration, if you need a boost up in your game or whatnot, go follow Miguel Garcia if you don't already. Go see what he's hatching out and try to get some of that heat into your collection, because he has that kind of heat that elevates you to the next level. I am proof of that. I'm telling you right now. Thank you, Miguel. Shout out to Miguel and the whole AEP team. And then shout out to Phil and the USARK. Man, USARK has been just getting it done this year, man. So shout out to anyone who's out there supporting USARK. We need to do our part. If you have no idea what the hell USARK is, do me a big favor. Go down to the link below, click on that, and read up and maybe become a member. If you can't become a member, no problem. Word of mouth is key. Talk about it. Let anybody new into the game know about it, because it's very important. None of us should be sleeping on USARK, and that's a fact. If you want to get a hold of me, you want to see what I'm producing, MJ got some ball python heat. Hit me up on Instagram, mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. And then make sure you go follow the podcast's Instagram page, Trap Talk with MJ Podcast. Shout out to all my Twitch viewers out there. I did not switch my password there, Matt Summers. Shout out to Matt Summers, advised that I switch my Twitch password because it got hacked. I don't know how many Twitch viewers I have out there, but if you're out there watching, shout out to you. And if you want to follow me on Twitch, that'd be sick too. Shit, more the merrier. You feel me? And if you would like to support me any more than a subscription, hit me up on PayPal, man. mjexoticscartal 619. Anything that is donated through super chats instantly gets sent over to USARK, man. So let's not be shy with the super chats. You know, Brian Kusko loves the super chats himself. So let's get these super chats up and going, and let's get this money over to USARK. And last but not least, shout out to my Patreon members out there. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. We get together every Sunday, my Patreon family. We talk about what's going on within the week. I give them the back information on what's happening with the podcast, because I got nothing but stuff going down on a day-to-day basis. And I give my Patreon family the first insight on anything that I got going on. And I bring special guests, to our Zoom sessions every now and then, every Sunday. That goes down 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If you want to join the Trap Patreon family, do your boy a favor. Go down to the link below, click on the Trap Talk Patreon family, join us, come see what we got going on, and you won't regret it. I'm telling you right now. Shout out to my Patreon family. You guys are amazing. And then last but not least, what's good with all the early birds, man? Early birds is cracking. Well, of course, because we have Kusko in the building. So I already knew there's going to be people here early and ready to go. Hi, Laura. This is a Trap Patreon member. How you doing, sweetheart? Hi, everyone. I'm super excited for tonight. Well, so am I. Jay Hendo, what is good? Kusko is my spirit animal. Holler to that. Kusko is a spirit and an animal combined. That's my man. I understand what you mean by that, dude. Shout out to the general right there in attendance. RW Mart, what is going on, General? Thank you for being here, Martin. Black Smoke, Reptiles, what is good? Was it you that I met at Tinley? I can't remember. Or it could have been Black Sun. Oh, man. If it's you, though, what's good, bro? If it's not you, what's good, bro? Thanks for being here. We're going to have a great show. My boy Angel up in the building. What is going on? Trap family all day, every day. This guy is paying a visit to the Trap tomorrow. What is he picking up? I wonder what it is. Could it be some grasshoppers? Because I produce grasshoppers now. Just kidding. I don't sell any grasshoppers. Those are all for the lizards. I will see you tomorrow, Angel. What is good, Nate? How you doing, Nate? Thanks for tapping in. Ball Morphix. What is good? Ball Morphix. Thanks for tapping in. Chad 2. The homie Chad 2 up in the building. Chat Patreon family all day, every day. Tyler King. What is good, Tyler King? The OG Ginger up in the building. He almost got his finger taken off by a sloth over the weekend. Pretty crazy stuff. I told you not to be that guy to get bit, and you weren't. Good job. Whew, that was a close call. What is good? Jacob, my boy Jacob right here. Residential homie, lives really close by, and he's Trap family all day, every day. And this is somebody that me and Kusko could relate to, because Aurora is official, real deal homie, down to earth, so cool shit. The only difference between me and Kusko with Aurora is I have not met her. I have not flown to her place. And I want to talk a little bit more about that, because I know he just went to go visit you, and it looked really, really amazing. And Aurora, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a Trap Patreon member as well. You are amazing. Go follow Aurora Exotics. Go follow Aurora. Dude, Kusko's busting up. Go follow Aurora Exotics right now. It's the homegrown. We're gonna end it at that. Wait, hold on. 1776. What is good? That's a big homie right there. Exotics all day, every day. Okay, we got my big bro in the building. He's already laughing.
What's up, bro?
There he is.
Oh, that's good. What's up?
How are you?
I'm glad that I jumped back in, because I don't know if you noticed, but I dipped out of the backstage because my internet, everything crashed. My camera wouldn't turn back on. My internet crashed, so I'm glad it turned back on. Hopefully, it stays on.
It was either two things. It was either something crashed or you just didn't want to hear my intro.
No, I didn't want to hear you talking so much, but I would have loved to hear the music. So I just missed the good part. Then I was here to have your blab for the last 5 minutes. I was just kidding. It was actually entertaining. Yeah, obviously, because I'm sitting here laughing.
Fresh from travels. How was
fresh from Tinley?
Yes.
You know, I'm glad you had me. I'm glad you had me because we were both at Tinley. But we didn't really get much of a chance to hang out too much. So I'm glad we get the chance to hang out now and catch up about how Tinley was or whatever you want to talk about. Yeah, it's good. Tinley was a blast, man.
I'm kind of regret because my thing really with shows is I don't stay for Sunday. And now I'm starting to realize, well, when you don't stay for Sunday, you don't catch up with all those people you weren't able to catch up with Friday and Saturday because, dude, this shit flies by quick. And now that I'm starting to go and meeting a lot more people there, and dude, I couldn't even meet everyone I was trying to meet. Like, it was crazy. Like, it got really crazy for a second. And there was just times where it just like you just were either eating somewhere and somebody was there to meet you, and you're just like, well, it's like I'm sure you had tons of experience with that. Like,
yeah, I don't eat.
I've got to eat, bro. If I don't, I'm high the whole time. So if I don't eat, I'm just like, I don't function right. You know what I mean? But I could see you. Yeah, you are just somebody who's on like in that kind of environment. You're nonstop. I've seen you in action.
I did miss Friday though. I didn't come in until Friday evening. I don't remember exactly why I worked it out that way. Something about not being able to be gone for too long, maybe. But yeah, I definitely stayed for Saturday, Sunday. But like you missed Sunday, I missed Friday. I was also contemplating going out to Brian's because I knew Jeremy was going out there. I knew there was a whole bunch of people going out there on like Monday, and I talked with him before about going out and how I wanted to, and then but there's this part of me that decided that I don't want to keep trying to cram in too many things into one trip, and then it starts to feel like you're just trying to cram too much instead of just letting the one moment flow. So I'd rather go out to Brian's on when I'm not doing Tinley at the same time, if that makes sense. But I did feel like
it gets tricky when you try to cram things. You know what I mean? Like when you're trying to stack all these things, that's when
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the first moment.
Brian was a little kind of like not butthurt, but he was sad that you didn't show up.
Yeah, I know. I need to call him still because I haven't even talked to him since I got back from Tinley. But I almost just drove out because when I got to the Tinley parking lot, when I first pulled in the parking lot, which is a great feeling. Was that your first time at Tinley?
First time ever, my dude. I was like just in awe since I showed up Friday. Right, I meet two first legends. I meet Gary Shavino and fucking Marshall Mendez. I'm like, I hung out with them most Friday night. I couldn't believe it. It was like, I couldn't believe what was going on. But anyways, as I was having a good time, I did meet some OG Tinley attendees, and they weren't really like saying, oh, this show sucks, but they're like, this show's nearly not as packed as it normally is. And I couldn't believe it. I thought the show was packed. I was like, this is fucking nuts. Like, honestly, to me, dude, best show I've ever attended. And it was the best time ever, hands down.
Tinley is a special place. I was talking with Potter last night. Brian Potter was on was it last night? No, the night before last. He was on Derek's Reptiles, and I jumped on with him for 10 minutes or so just to talk about it. There is something special about it. And when I pulled into that parking lot, the first people that saw me were Bruce and Jessica. So, and they were talking about like, oh, you're going to come out to Brian's, right? And I was like, oh, man. And like, I almost made a decision to just drive up on Sunday. And then because my flight was out of Chicago on Monday afternoon, and that would have just been nuts. It was a 4-hour plus drive one direction, and I was like, and that's the kind of dumb stuff that I used to do. It's like something like that, like I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. It's 4.5 hours one way, whatever. I'll spend all day driving and hang out for like 3 hours and then come back, and that would have just been stupid. So I didn't do that, but I wanted to. There was a part of me that was the young touring musician guy in me that was like, just go. What? You only live once. Just make the drive. Make it happen. And then I was like, no, don't be stupid. You've done things like that before. You always regret it every time. You're like, oh, yeah, should have just chilled and like enjoyed where you were at instead of trying to cram too much into one thing. So I listened to that part of me that's the adult that knows better finally for like it's probably like the 10th time I've done that in my life.
And you've traveled quite a bit, my man. You're quite a bit of traveler, for quite a while. Like, I'm just now starting to travel. Last year, I'm starting to get these travels under my belt. But since I followed you, you've been going to shows, linking with Kaufman, doing all sorts of shit with Barcheck, ventures with Forrest. Man, you've done a lot of stuff, man.
Oh man, I wish I had. Well, it's great that I didn't at the same time because I just got to enjoy the experiences. But there was a lot of world traveling that happened before I ever picked up a camera and started filming myself. I've been around a bit. That would have been cool to have some of those spots. I mean, whether it was a castle in Scotland, or or like the Ireland stuff, all the Europe stuff, or like the Philippines, all the Thousand Islands in Philippines, dude.
Right.
That would have been epic. I would have loved to have all, because now that I've filmed, the last 5 or 6 years of my life, it's great. In fact, on a video I'm putting out tomorrow, there's a moment where I'm like, when was I needed a date on something to just to track a quarantine on an animal, and I could just go back to YouTube and be like, let's see, what day was that I got that animal, and all that stuff like that. Like I can just go back and if I don't remember exactly what happened, I can go back and look and be like, oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. Look, you can watch it happen again right here on the screen, and that's kind of cool. That's one of my favorite things about vlogging.
God bless for people who keep content like that, because you can literally use that as documentation. It saved my ass numerous times of wait, what snake was this that was due to lay or something? Like, I'll just go back to pics that I take of ovulations or something like that. You know what I mean? So
exactly. One of the even more extreme instances was when Bob Gunter got that snake stolen off his table, and Miguel just happened to catch him in the background over his shoulder stealing the snake. I was like, that was amazing.
And that shit wasn't being put out on YouTube at all. That was you know what I mean? I don't know. Who else is putting out? Obviously, theft, people getting caught stealing is being shown on YouTube. But Reptile at a Reptile show, that's pretty iconic content right there. If you may, if you think about it, because everyone remembers it. Who doesn't forget that fucking clip? You know what I mean?
Ooh, speaking of legends, dude, I didn't realize Gary was there. I would have loved to see Gary. I've had some conversations with him, man. He's a super cool guy. And then his content's great. He does it his little bit of humor that he adds in. Gary Schiavino.
Dude, nails it.
Nails it.
He has such a great personality for it, bro.
Man, I wish I could have meet him. But that's your point. That's the point, right? There's so many people. It's almost impossible to because the entire time I was there, I was conversating with somebody till 4 a.m. on Saturday, and you just constantly talking with people and engaging and exchanging. And I got to talk to a lot of people I hadn't before, which was awesome. People I hadn't met, and then people that I hadn't seen for a while, and people I've seen more recently than others, and connected a little deeper with some folks that I've known for years, and just had a little moment with folks that those folks that we got even way more connected and feel way more I know them, and we're closer now. And that's what these shows are about for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of great animals, and it's definitely opportunity to find animals that you wouldn't be able to find elsewhere. Although for me, a lot of the animals that I want to find, I feel like I don't need to go to a show to find those. I've connected enough with people that I can be I'm looking for this specifically, and somebody will know that person. I can go reach out to them and find that animal without having to go to a show, which might not be the case for everybody. So it makes sense in that aspect. For me, it's about getting to connect with all these people that are in the hobby, in the industry. And the legends I was going to bring up. Okay, so you had Levance on, and that was somebody I'd wanted to bring for a long time, and I was grateful that we got to do it here at my place and do it together. And that Levance said, oh, you do it, you got to have Brian too. And I was like, that was fantastic. There's a few people. There's 3 people. I'm going to give you, would you mind if I give you 3 people that I would recommend trying to get? And then if you do happen to get them, I don't know, I'd give you something. I'd put some kind of wager, because
I need energy. Hold on. All right.
You have a special guest tonight too. I'm really excited about that as well. Because I have no idea who.
Oh, you're gonna be very okay. It's he's special, but this is more of a proud. This guest is more for Kusko than anybody fucking else, and I'm sure other people are gonna be excited. I hope he taps in too, because he's actually on the road. But it's important what I want to talk about too. So, anyways, if the stars align, great. But at the end of the day, once I come out to tell you who it is, once it shows up, you're gonna understand. You're gonna be like, holy shit. You're gonna be like, God damn it, MJ. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. But anyways,
if you pull somebody back from my past, I'd be like, wow, that was crazy. But
I mean, I don't know. It's more of a turn the stone hat trick. Like you'll see. I don't. Well, we'll see. Let's just stop talking about it because I don't want to. There's $100 wager in my Patreon family. Anyone who guesses who it is, they're gonna get $100 cash. I'm not talking about trap credit. I'm talking about cash money in the pocket.
I saw that.
And nobody guessed it. Oh, okay. One person guessed it because they got. Anyways.
Somebody did guess it.
No, but they got because the guest told them it was like their best friend. So I was like, oh, okay, that's the one.
Did they comment that on the stream?
No. He hit me up personally. Because he was excited.
Yeah, because he'd be cheating otherwise, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure, 100%. Okay, but anyways, like I was saying, so
do you want these people? Do you want this list of people that I think there's? There's three.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get my notes because I want to write this down.
There's three people that
I don't play no more. Here we go.
I don't know that you'll be able to get. I have been trying. A couple of them I've been trying for a while. I've been trying for like a while, and I just don't know that it'll ever happen. Shoot. But if I would just love anybody to do it. Like it was a goal of mine for a long time, and at this point I'm just like, if somebody has them on, then I'll just be happy with that and be like, at least they went somewhere. First one is Steve Roussis. Roussis Reptiles.
I saw the last name.
Roussis. I'm almost certain that it's
it's Roussis Reptiles.
Yes. Old school ball python guy, like one of the pioneers at the beginning, like with Lindy. And he's a super cool guy. He's from New York. He's like one of my favorite people to hang out with at the show. We just start going deep on like music stuff and like Hendrix. I remember one of the first times we hung out, he described Hendrix exactly the way that I describe Hendrix. And I was like, dude, but he's also, like I said, like got old school industry knowledge. And he also doesn't really want to come on a video and do a talk at all.
All right.
But he's such a great guy. He would be such a great guest because he's just like one of those guys who just like lets it go and just like probably has a million great stories and has really good energy. So that's one. Number two would be Mark Bell, just because of.
So I can tell you right now, not going to happen. But if it does happen, it will be me because I'm the one actually talking to this guy every fucking show. And if it's not me chatting it up, I'll tell you what. Des made real good friends with him over this last weekend at the bar. But dude, Mark, if it's anything, it's Kim. I can tell you that. But bro, Mark, did I tell you the story about Mark, what he did to my podcast at Schaumburg and how he slammed the beer during my live and said, fuck this podcast? Did Dan tell you that?
No, I didn't hear that.
You hear about that? You want to hear about that real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so shout out to Troy, Best Dressed Balls. Fucking what a nice guy, right?
Troy's a super nice guy.
Right, love the guy, right? We're finishing up our last episode because I was pulling a Kusko, trying it out, and I'm saying I'm no Kusko. I mean, when it comes to doing the lives at the show, I don't feel like I have it. But anyways, I did it at Schaumburg, and the last one I had was Troy, and believe it or not, Troy was going in. I forget what the topic was, but he was like going in and ranting about something that made a lot of good points. And then, sure enough, you hear someone like talking from a distance, voice. And you can hear a cuss word after every word, right? And then, sure enough, and you hear, it's like, you hear, I think Terry Phillip, Terry Phillip. So you hear Terry come to and I'm eyeing, right? So I'm at the table. This is where at Cold Blooded Cafe's table, okay? So I'm eyeing. I see Terry come, and I see this guy come, slams a beer on the table. Like beer goes, and it's a Pabst Blue Ribbon, right? Fucking classic Pabst Blue Ribbon. And he's like, "What's up, Terry? What do you guys have set up here? Some bullshit podcast? You'll never find me on that fucking piece of shit." And I was like, dude, and he's literally, this is him talking over Troy, recording like over like why he's talking. So all you can really see is us like looking up at him talking. And I have no idea who the fuck this guy is, believe it or not. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And you know me, and like I'm trying to hold myself back from like telling this guy, yo, like you're being rude or something, and I didn't. I just kept my mouth shut. And then I see as soon as we cut and everything's done because we pulled it off.
That's kind of a big deal for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a big deal. Especially because something you told me like don't, But then I also I had this presence with him too. The guy was like a rock star, like long hair and just like I don't know. I just like when
like Sammy Hagar or something, huh?
he had such a I don't give a fuck attitude that I just respected. Like I was just like I was drawn to it. And then Desiree's like, "That's Mark Bell," and I was like, "Oh shit!" And Kim came right after all this, and Desiree took me, introduced me to them, And man, that was intense. Let me just say that because Desiree was like, "Yeah, this is MJ from the podcast," and then Mark just shut down. He was just like,
I've sat and chatted with Mark a few times at different shows, but he just doesn't want to do it on a video really. But technically, was that recorded? Like, is that on the podcast? Like, is that on Troy's episode? Do you hear him say
the voice? Yes, I have that. We haven't put that out, but I have my homie Matt Summers has that. We have Sean. It was the audio was not the greatest when I was recording unfiltered, so I just didn't put it out. But you can still hear it, so I'm gonna put it out for sure. I'll put it out.
Because what I mean is technically that you got him on your podcast.
Yeah, you just can't see him. And you can see my face though, bro. Like me, you can just see MJ's like you can see my eyeballs just like. Oh, by the way, did you see the part of the episode when Levance was like he told those people, no, there's nothing over here for you. Take it over there. Get away from here. Did you see that? Oh my God. Okay, so Levance had like pretty much hooked up and rented out the whole left side of the hobby of the Hilton, right? Like nice ass, fucking big ass fire and all these like lounge tape. But anyways, it was all like
rented out the lobby.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like it was all like marked off for us for the pot. He just had the guy set it up,
Gotcha.
He was like this is all for us, But there was parties going on at that hotel, right? So I guess one of the hotels had like a scavenger hunt. And there, it was an elderly group. It's like old elderly people, and they were like out there, looking for clues and
not
stuff.
From the Reptile show.
Not from the Reptile show. Not even a little bit. No, this is like it was like a New Orleans party or something. But
that's cool.
But the thing was, like, as they were coming into the lobby to do their scavenger hunt, it got loud. Like you could hear them screaming, and like it kind of disrupted a little bit of the podcast because Anthony, his son, was there. Anthony's son was like, talking for a bit. But anyways, long story short, they fucking migrated and thought, some of their scavenger hunt was like where like Levance was sitting. Oh man, and Levance could see them coming from a mile away, bro. Let's just put it this way: as soon as that one of these ladies came within 5 feet, he put his hand up. He said, "There's nothing over here from you. Take that shit. Oh, take that over there." He didn't cuss, but he's like, "You take that over there." And she said, "Oh, okay." And she just dipped. Oh man, you got to go back and watch it. It is hilarious. Honestly, Matt Summers couldn't stop talking about it.
I can imagine it. I can imagine it.
I
did get to see Levance, so that was nice because me and Levance have a nice happy.
Matt Summers was here. He was there behind the camera. My heart, I was just like, dude, he's gonna snap. Like fuck, like these ladies better just like take it away, and they did, dude. Thank God, and like I think Anyways, it's just Levance is a big dude, bro. Okay, like
he's huge. He's like
Antoine, right? He's double-sized Antoine.
Yeah, he's what's that guy in there's the dude, who he reminded me of last time I saw him last weekend was there's the guy that is one of the security guards at you ever watched Breaking Bad? I think most people have watched Breaking Bad because it's one of the best shows on television.
Oh, but he's not that big. Oh, he's not
He's pretty big, dude. Yeah, the freaking dude on the dude that's a security guard at Saul's.
Bro, he's not gumpy like that. This fool's
but he's like size wise, like he's a big dude like that. He's just like when he's sitting there at his booth, he's freaking huge, dude. He was sitting down. I walked up to him and he was like up to my shoulder. You know what I mean?
The dude's 6'4", bro. He's a beast.
Yeah, it's always been good vibes with Levance for me. I wouldn't want to be on his bad side, I don't think, but that's lucky.
But okay,
good.
I can tell you what. What a good way to go ahead. Oh,
number three, the third person.
Wait. Okay, hold on. So Mark Bell, and who's the third one? You there?
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm here. I totally blanked out. Tracy Barker.
Tracy Barker. Yeah.
And that one, Des might be able to get you in there.
Yeah. She's Des. Yeah, this is honestly, this will be all Des. If I could get Mark, God forbid, probably not, it would be Des. If I could get Tracy Barker, it would be Des. So this is, I don't know about the Steve Rusis. I mean, I would have to tap in with Jesse because I could tell you what, I have something on the DL with Freedom Breeder, which I'll share with you off the podcast. So we'll see. Well, I'm definitely on the hunt for the Steve Ruis. Say it again. Ruse?
Rusis.
Rusis.
Yeah. Just a cool cat.
That's it, huh? Those three?
Yeah, I thought about them when you said you wanted me to come on tonight. I was like, oh man, we should try and get those guys.
No matter how long it takes me, if I could get these at some point, respect is what you're saying.
Yeah. 100%. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's cool. All right. So listen, tell me a little bit more as far as like, what you did on Tinley. I know Tinley night, we after the show, you were at the auction, right? And you bid $1,000 on this whiskey bottle. Was it the Japanese whiskey that you bought?
It was Japanese whiskey, yeah. And that was, that was one of the moments that Brian actually let loose a little bit. I felt like Brian was a little bit more reserved.
His mom was there.
That maybe that had something to do with it, but she's been there before,
right?
But maybe that did have an effect. But he let it fly during that little back and forth. And the reason I bid on it, well, obviously I love whiskey. I'm a big whiskey guy, and I don't have nearly enough Japanese whiskey here. I only have a couple, and there's some really good ones I need to try. And the fact that Harry put it up, because I love Harrison. I think he's a fantastic human being, and I just wanted his item to get high and bid. I didn't know that he was going to start bidding on it, against it was his item. He starts bidding on it. He starts getting up on the chair. Brian's yelling about, we're bringing racism back, and like just Brian loves when he finds somebody that's like Harry Wang, a Asian dude named Harry Wang. He just can't freaking leave it alone. He's like I need to touch it, I need to play with it.
He's all over it.
and then he's like one of the first the first person, or not the first, but he's one of like 3 people in my entire life that referred to me as a white man. And he's like, because I was bidding, Harry bid whatever, and then I'd like go way above it because I was just like, I knew what my limit was or whatever, or I knew where, I don't know. I was kind of dumb at the same time. I should have started a little lower and kind of played it, but instead, I think Harry said like 275, and I was like 500. And I was like, dude, you're gonna let this white man steal your Asian heritage like that? Because it's Japanese whiskey, and it's just hilarious. I just love it. Love good comedy,
you put Harry in the spotlight, and he's gonna keep going. You know what I mean? That's just how Harry is.
Yeah, he got up. He first he was like kneeling up on his chair, then he actually stood up on the chair. I don't know if he was maybe he was standing on the table. I don't know. He's a short guy.
No, he stood up on the chair eventually at the last part, and it was that was probably one of the highlights of the auction. I'm not gonna lie. That was like people were like fucking going. Were like that's kind of was the icebreaker. I feel like that was like the first big like shit everyone was cheering for was that bottle. I feel like.
Well, that's also what I wanted to do. USARK, obviously that's what we're all there for, right? And that was huge. Todd Goodman, always there, doing huge for freaking USARK. He's always
Todd Goodman.
Dude. Todd Goodman, Timberline is. I had him on Triple B TV for the first time. I've been wanting to have him on for years. And he came, sat down, and talked. Super solid guy, dude. Solid individual, that man. And the work he's doing with USARK and for USARK, which I noticed on your thing, you gotta change your logo. You gotta change your logo when you pull up the USARK thing. They got the new logo.
It's new. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for reminding me. They're I have stickers. Where'd it go? Damn, I have a shit ton of stickers, but I actually like them. It's like USA. Like you could totally see the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, well, Phil had a moment of clarity with it because he obviously there's going to be people that are like, we like the old logo, like don't change it. But Phil was at the bank or something a few days before, and he was wearing the polo shirt with the little USARK emblem there, and the teller was like looking at it. She's like, "Oh, what does that say?" And he was like, "Oh, I guess we do need this rebrand if people can't read what it says."
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that was cool. That was fun bidding against Harry, and I told he was like, dude, I was gonna like buy it and then come pour you some back, and I was like, no, the only reason I bid on it so high is because it was him that put it up.
Right.
Some other bottle of whiskey I maybe wouldn't have gone so high, but since he stood up on his chair, I was like, well, I'm just gonna lean back in my chair and not get all excited and just sit here and be like, 500. More. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna make him sit down like I'm sitting down.
I was like, you're going up against a guy who has a whiskey channel. He's gonna win this. Like,
no, it was just fun. It was just fun. I love doing stuff like that, especially for USARK. You know, it just makes it all that much more fun that it's going to that great cause that reptile keepers are supporting, should be supporting.
Let me ask you this, Brian, because I feel like there's a lot of people who just don't make it to the USARK shows, and that's fine. But like, I feel like that's such a huge piece to like going to shows in general, because that's when you're like at like, you know, you're not moving and watching at snakes. You're just sitting, chilling, and you could actually sit down next to somebody and talk to someone in person and just kind of build relationships with and whatnot. But I don't know, in your eyes, how important do you feel it is for somebody who's new into this game to attend these kind of USARK auctions? Because I feel like a lot of people don't go because they're like, I haven't been in this long enough, or I don't feel like that's not my part yet and whatnot, you know?
There are people that support USARK that don't keep reptiles because of how important they know it is to us. And so that's a lame excuse. I mean, if that it's just a lame excuse. And Martin, I may have a while back tried the Yamasaki 12 year.
I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
Okay, I may have tried some of those a while back, but yeah, as far as so there was a girl that came to the auction that, if memory serves me correctly, we had a good conversation like towards the end of the auction. I went to the back and I was getting some water and just chatting, and she had come there because she watches my videos and other YouTubers' videos, and that was the reason she came. She didn't even keep reptiles, and none of her friends wanted to come with her, so she just came by herself, and she came to the auction. So not being in it long enough or not feeling like that's not a reason not to go to the auction. You really should. I mean, that's like MJ was saying, it's a great spot to like sit down with somebody and maybe meet somebody new in the hobby they don't know. In fact, the auction is where I do meet most of the people that I haven't met yet. You know, if I'm walking around the show, I'm running into folks that I already know, or or people coming up to watch the vlog. But at the auction, I always end up meeting people that have been in the hobby or industry for a long time that I didn't know before. And since we're sitting there, like literally, like the guy that was sitting right next to me at the table, at the other table, but right next to me after I won that bottle of whiskey, he turned around and he's like, now we got to talk about this. And I'd never spoken with that gentleman before ever in my life, and we had a great conversation. And it's a big reason to go. I mean, I don't subscribe to the like just doing it all for yourself method. It's a group. You know, we all make it happen together, and no single individual makes it happen bigger without everybody else involved. It's not a. And that's probably true of any kind of community and thing, but I think it's especially important with the reptile community because there are so many things working against us constantly. And it's, just right off the bat, society in general doesn't look favorably upon reptiles. We have been fortunate to have this community where we live in this world where it feels like it is normal, but the majority of society, and thankfully it's changing, thankfully because of all the work people are doing, it is changing. But still, the majority of society is like, reptile keeping, that's weird. And that's maybe even something that I don't like, So
that is, but I feel like, and this is my perspective. I just feel like it's happening. It's becoming less and less, but still there. It's still like,
it seems less to us because we're right in the smack dab in the middle of it.
I figured. Yeah. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something right now.
You're gonna say how handsome I look today.
Okay, wait. What were you just talking about right now? Before, like, what was the topic?
We were talking about USARK. We were talking about the auction.
Oh, yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so back to when you put out that YouTube video. Basically, like, you didn't blast individual people about not supporting USARK, but I felt like you knew there was a good chunk of people who make a good chunk of money selling snakes and whatnot, but don't support USARK. Did you have like a list or a confirmation of something behind that? Because I see emotion behind this video, and I'm just curious. Like,
no, it wasn't. No, there was no specific. I didn't get any numbers or any confirmation of anything from anybody. It was. I think it was right after that phone call with. I think this is the great thing about recording. I can go back and look at the date, and but. That's where my brain has run out of storage, MJ. Like, there's these numbers stored from LLCs that I ran back in Hawaii, like back then. I've still got the federal ID numbers up there, like they're there. and I can recant them at any second. But that's taking up space for new information, which is why I record things now, so I can go back and be like, oh, that was this date. Anyway, the point is that no, I think it was right after they had that call for the stuff that was happening in Florida, and there was the big call, and they had everybody call in, because it's COVID and they're not doing anything in person. So anybody that wants to say anything, even local people, had to be over this phone call, and you had to wait. And it really seemed like the decision had already been made before they even heard from the public. It just seemed like they were just like, it was all rigged and set up, and it was just like a show, or just a optics for them to allow people to have a moment to speak about how they felt about the bill that was coming. And then they were like, yep, you guys all had made great points, but it's still going through because that was the plan all along. And I think it was right after that. When I made it. Could have been before though, but no, there was no special information I had about anybody in particular. I just got a little worked up about it. That's all it was.
Okay. Because I mean,
it seemed like it had a good effect.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did. Because honestly, like, it sparked the fire for me to start saying something, because I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh man, because I wanted to give as much as I could, but I was like, honestly, wasn't making it a priority. And when you did that, I made it a priority. I dropped it like it was hot, and I became a gold member. So props to you.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have any kind of positive influence any way whatsoever on the videos, which was another one of my favorite things. Some people came up to me at the show and said some very, very kind things to me that really touched my heart about some of the content that we put out, and that I like doing it anyway. I'm going to keep doing it always, but when I have people come up, those are some really affirming moments for me when I have somebody come up and spill their heart to me like that, and just let me know how much something as simple as a YouTube video, which can seem very simple and inconsequential or frivolous at times, just how much people have been touched in their hearts by some of these different things that we've put out. It's amazing. That's huge, and that's just a great energy. That's probably my favorite thing about
Brian,
Tinley
you've been touching people for a hot minute. Not to be on a weirdo or anything, but you touching people is your jam. I'm telling you right now, man. That's what drew me to you from the beginning, was your touching. No, honestly, it was just the content you're putting out, because I knew how hard it was. Like, even no matter how good you are at it and how much it was a routine for you, it's still fucking work. Yeah. And I always knew that, because I had buddy who did videography, even when I did music stuff, like, and I always looked at it like, oh my God, I wish I'd never have to learn to do how to do that. And sure enough, here I am trying to learn Final Cut Pro. So like, bro, like I know the kind of work you put out is like your work for one thing, and it's shit that you just been consistent about doing for a long time. And it's all it does is been spreading inspiration to anyone who's thinking about, hey, maybe should I start vlogging, or how should I start? Like, bro, you give out your equipment information. Like, you give out every detail of how you can help people. And that's one thing I've also noticed that you've done in the beginning, which inspired me. Which is just, I don't know, man. Like, you're just, fuck. I love you, dog. I love having you on, because like I'm telling you, I love talking about how much you've inspired me. And we just have great conversations every time I have you on. But yeah, I'll stop. I'm high. Sorry.
Thanks, man. Love you too, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, you don't have to stop. You don't have to stop. I mean, if you got questions for me, I can answer them. I mean, yeah, Tinley was great. Go to a reptile show, like any reptile show. I think there's one happening in Lodi next month, which Lodi is, you hear the Creedence Clearwater. Probably more people are familiar with the Creedence Clearwater song than they are the actual town of Lodi, but it is here in California, in the Central Valley. I got an auntie that lived there, so I knew it pretty well. I'd go there to visit my auntie. Stuck in Lodi again. There's a show happening there next month, and I think I just might go to it. It's probably going to be one of the smaller shows, but some of those smaller shows, you end up running into some really awesome folks. There was another show that happened back before I moved down here to San Luis Obispo, when I got my second snake when I moved back from Hawaii in Tracy, which is not too far from Lodi, and got to meet Brian Gundy there in person for the first time at that Tracy show, which Brian Gundy is a huge influence on not only myself but a lot of people as a
Yeah.
shining example of a human being in this that's involved with reptiles and does education and just is one of those people that's spreading it out there. Right? The man did freaking Google's Christmas party. That's like there's some influential people in there that he brought in and turned their minds around about reptiles. You know what I mean?
Right. Brian, I'm gonna have to interrupt real quick because
Do it.
There's something that bothered me, and this is not anyone's fault but YouTube's fault. But there's something that really bothered me the last time I had you on because man, it was a great episode, as always. And man, we ended that. I remember I don't know if you remember, but I specifically shouted out 148 likes or something like that. I could go back to what I said, but I was so impressed with the likes and I was so impressed with the views. We had a lot of great views. And then the next day I go back 46 likes.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Remember, I was so pissed about that. And I was like, what the fuck? And I even hit up, I normally don't care, but I was like, this is fucking straight robbery. This is blatantly robbery right here, straight in my face. And, YouTube's like, yeah, I don't know. We're like, we're fixing it. Please be patient. Long story short, it didn't get fixed. We're here now. There's 40 something likes, 81 views. We're going to get these fucking likes up right now for Brian Kusko. We're going to fucking fight against YouTube. We're going to make sure we're 100 for 100 like to view ratio right now. It's not about liking me or not. It is about liking Kusko. I want you right now to take a fucking second of your goddamn time and like right now. I don't care if you just like. Just do it right now. Sorry, one more second. Do it right now, and we're going against YouTube. This is not against you guys. This is personal. This is against YouTube. I just want to see what happens.
I think you need to take another hit, bro.
I'm hyped, Jake.
Okay, maybe back off then. I don't know.
I've been wanting to talk about that though for a long time, and like honestly, you knew I was pissed about that. And now,
YouTube does some interesting things sometimes, or not interesting at all. Like just wondering how or why things happen. That's some weird thing where like people were getting all the notifications, subscriptions turned off on my channel. Like my boy Duran was sitting there right with me, showing me like, look, I can't turn notifications off your channel, and it tells me because blah blah blah. And I was like, well, that sucks. But luckily the end result is that I love doing it anyway, and it does reach people regardless of how much YouTube messes around with whatever their algorithm or whatever kind of fuckery goes on behind the scenes of YouTube. It's still working. It's still a successful platform, and that's why
it is. But it's what's crazy is you never know what is what because they could just fuck with anything if they want, and that's a fact.
That's true. I mean, they do run the platform. They could take it all down tomorrow.
I'm like, bro, yeah, you guys can control everything. That's why it's like, holy shit,
that is an interesting subject. That is an interesting topic. That's definitely been in a big source.
Yeah,
I don't really want to go there either, but it is a thing. It's like at one point,
I don't make a huge income off YouTube, but like for the people that do, like I'm sure this is like very important, and
not even so much the income, but just like even the freedom of speech, and if they this whole conversation of if these companies have the right to curate what is on their platform, or if they've gotten so big that they should be more considered a utility like the phone service. It's an interesting conversation that I've been listening to a lot and kind of feeling out what would be right thing, what would be acceptable. Like, are they actually a private company? Do they reserve the right to just curate it and silence whatever they want to and put up what they want? Or is it so big now that like should be a global platform where freedom of speech should be allowed? Or that, I guess that's just a US thing. But anyway, it's an interesting conversation that I think about sometimes, and where we're going in the world with this new. Still, in my mind, the internet is still new. I know there's plenty of people now that are like of drinking age that it's not new for, but for me, it's still a new phenomenon that we as a human race are still dealing with and figuring out how to make work in a successful way, which a lot of us do, thankfully. I mean, I feel like I use it pretty successfully. I've gotten to connect with hundreds, if not thousands of people now, like actually in person, that we connected through the internet, which is what the successful use of the internet is I think transfer of information and communication. and you can communicate something to somebody across the world that you didn't know. Dude, I'm so blessed. I've got places to stay anywhere. Like I could be traveling through like any state basically. I just any county even at this point I think, and just like
You know what, dude, not only that, but everywhere I go, people are waiting for me with weed, and I'm like, "You're fucking amazing!" Like I'm telling you, bro, it's a blessing, dude. It really is. This is why, like, okay, here's my thing about traveling. It's fun, but I miss home really. Like I call me a fucking, I don't know what you would call
homebody.
me. Homebody, but I like, what made this Tinley trip fun and what made it very feasible was because Lily was with me, but that still didn't keep me from like, after day 3 kind of losing my mind on what's happening here, because with all the animals and whatnot, and babies coming out of the eggs, I have a lot going on right now, but I don't know, man, like at what point, I mean, especially with kids, at what point was traveling maybe kind of getting too much for you, or has it ever gotten too much for you?
It is definitely. I find myself wanting to be away from home, less and less. The last big trip was Australia, as far as amount of time spent away, and that was right when Forrest passed, so that added to the, it was like halfway through the trip that happened, and then like so that added to it a little bit, but I still joke with I still joke with everybody about how when we came back from Australia and had a layover in LA, I was like, I should probably just jump out here and go home. I've been gone long enough. And then of course we landed in Tinley and had to turn around and go home anyway because it got canceled. but I don't know. It would have to be a big thing. Like I would have loved to do Brian's at the same time as Tinley, but I would have wanted to extend it and had a longer time away, which is not something I really wanted to do. Obviously to care for the animals on B, but A, being away from the family. The kids, like you say, they're 8, 6, and 3 now, and like it's as much as I'm here, which I'm so blessed to get to spend so much time with them. Like it's just unbelievable how much of a blessing I've been blessed with to be able to do that. I still feel like if I'm gone for more than 10 days, say, which the Australia trip was almost 2 weeks, like I come back and so much I've missed so much, and I love traveling and I still will do it, and I would love to bring the family along for more of it, and so that we can all kind of cruise. But that makes things change a lot too. That makes the logistics of everything. Like I mentioned to Noah before I left, I was like, dude, you should come to Chicago with me next time. As I'm running around, I'm imagining him being with me on all of this. And it would definitely change the dynamic of it, which could be fine, but it'd also probably be he's like, dude, but Noah might be okay because he hung with us in the desert. He came on those trips and he's able to hang like a big boy. He's kind of a little advanced for an 8-year-old. Like he can hang, but
definitely advanced. Dude, wait, it was like, remember how cold it was when I was visiting your house? Okay, here I am having like a sweater and a long sleeve and a freaking beanie on. This kid has his shirt off, no shoes, no socks, pulling amazing shit out of the ocean. But God, I was looking at this kid. I was like, bro, aren't you cold? And he was just living life. But anyways, yeah, the kid's very
for it, dude. He's got some spunk, man. There's no doubt about it. The kid's got some spunk. But even with all that though, I feel like at some point you probably get bored just like being at the show. And he's like, dude, are you still talking to people? I can just see it like Dad, when can we go? Like, do I have to sit here and talk to everybody all day long? And so I'm imagining that while I'm at the show. And I'm like, yeah, maybe it wouldn't be the best. It'd probably be more fun to go on a herping adventure. That's where he'd rather go, not to a show so much. For him, it's not. He's not at that point, I think, where he wants to have all these adult conversations.
He needs to be kept busy his way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not because like honestly, I don't mind conversating as a kid, but man, as a kid, I was doing shit. Like I was like, you know what I mean? Like I was on the go all the time doing something, So herping thing, I could totally see him just killing it, having a good time. And if you can keep up with him, the kid will talk to you the whole time. I'll tell you that right now. Like, oh man, I love talking to your kids, both of them. Eli, I'm telling you, that's my soul right there. That's my heart.
Me and Leia had some good. Eli's a very special soul. He's a gentle, kind soul, for sure. He's got some fire too, but he's mostly gentle, kind. Leia today, we got to have some time because Hillary went to go do some things this morning while the boys were at school. So I had for what seems like it's been a while, just her and I for the whole morning into the afternoon, and we did all kinds of stuff. We were unicorns that were fishing, and then we were also like I rode my one wheel around and she rode her scooter and we did races and like took imaginary fishing off the thing. Like she became the fish, went in, and I was fishing her up off the side of the cliff and just went in and played sorry as unicorns. As unicorns, we were both unicorns. She wanted to make sure that I knew that we were still unicorns, Daddy, while we're playing sorry, just in case you needed a reminder. And it was great, dude. It was great because kids are always more partial to mommy, I think, in general, and
Right.
it's yeah. I don't, that's why I travel. This ties around to your question. Like I can't just go like I did without kids. Well, I could, but I'd feel like I was just not doing the right thing if I just like went for weeks at a time, or even 10 days every month or something like that. And it just seems like it'd be too much to be gone during these times. And I'm hoping, and I'm fairly certain that when they do get older, and I've spent my time being with them and raising them and spending the amount of time with them that I think is necessary to bring good kids into the world, then there'll be that time again where I can be like, all right, let's dig out for a couple weeks. Let's dig out for a month,
Right. Right. Day by day.
Day by day. I thought you were just making some random like nanu nanu noise for a second. Then I realized you said day by day. It sounded like it came across like day by day, day by day,
Day by day.
nanu nanu.
That new cloud filter, boy.
I'm sober as a bat, dude. I'm super like I'm soaring high from how sober I am. It's amazing.
You broke through the sober mold. You're like on a whole nother level of high off life right now.
Yeah, well, I've been working out too. Like I had canceled my gym membership because the COVID stuff, they shut down the sauna for a while, and the sauna was a big part of why I went there. So I was like, I'm not paying for this if I can't go to the sauna. I'll just do some push-ups and run.
Are you doing your runs right now? Are you running to the joint? Are you swimming, doing what you were doing?
I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I was gonna do it this morning, but I had something else to do very early in the morning, so I did that instead. But tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna run to the gym and swim. And I did a workout this afternoon and hit the sauna before I came back here to do this. And I'm in it. I'm going for it again. It's go Brian time.
I want to start swimming really bad, bro. Because especially with my knees and with my fucking problems, I feel like getting some laps in and whatnot, like doing it like how you've been doing it. If I'm doing it consistent and shit, that's like going to be like the kind of cardio I need for my fucked up ass.
Yeah, swimming.
I can't run.
Swimming is real good for that. Yeah, especially if you got a bad knee. Yeah, swimming is just amazing.
Dude, what's crazy is, check this out. Luckily, I have been off my feet or something like, or I don't know. I actually rewind that. I think kind of working out because I have a slight tear. I had a slight tear in my ACL. Like literally, I had an MRI, torn meniscus. And then like to speed up after a while, like after my car accident, I got an MRI again, and turns out that my ACL kind of repaired itself, and I just
slammed it back into place.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but now it has like more of a slight tear of my meniscus. So like the knee that I was facing surgery on is now looking more like just physical therapy, but I've been doing a lot better on that knee. But it's more my knee that I had surgery on over a year ago, because that's the leg I got bit on, and I stopped using that leg for over a month. So I don't know if it was just not using it for a while, but now my knee pops, bro. Like my knee does all this funky ass stuff now whenever I move. Like it's sucks. I don't know.
There's three things that what kind of three is that? There's three things, three things that I would recommend to you. One is fasting, so that your body can take time to repair itself instead of breaking down meals. And that's the hardest one I'm bringing out. But that, if you use that in conjunction,
fasting, how long?
I mean, just look into the different options out there. Even if you just do some kind of fasting, so that your body has a chance to work on itself.
I do intermittent fasting, so I don't eat till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I stop eating at 9. So 2 to 9 is like my window.
Okay, so that's there's some time in there too, but maybe doing an extended version, like every now and then doing like a 24 or a 48, and while doing those, taking one of two things. I've never had the stem cell injections. I don't know anybody personally that has. They may be very expensive and maybe harder to get access to than I think of, than I'm aware. But the other thing, if you stem cell thing isn't your jam, there are these not electrolytes, but amino acids that have been put together into precursors for proteins, and you can get them out of Russia, and they're really not that expensive, and they're basically like the building blocks. It's like taking it further, because obviously your body builds all its proteins from all the 12 essential amino acids and puts them together in all these different proteins, and this one is put into these all. It's like they assembled some of the amino acids together, and I'm telling you, dude, I had this shoulder stuff in here. And I just took those things for 10 days with some fasting. Gone. Just gone.
Wow.
Yeah. So check it out. Heard about that from Rogan, actually. He's got a lot of good stuff over there.
All right. I'll definitely check that out. And wait, how long did you try all this out?
That was maybe several months back, maybe half a year ago or something. I got some more because I'm going to do it again. Like I'm about to start working out pretty hard.
What's it called? Can you tell me one more time what's it called? What is it called?
Vita. I'll send you the thing after. I got them upstairs. I can take a picture, show you exactly what they look like.
I want to show. Maybe we can look at it right now. What is it? Vita.
Oh, sure. The website was. Oh my gosh. Here, let me jump in my email real quick, and I'll go back to my orders, and I'll find. I want to say VitaStream was the name of the website. Yes, VitaStream.
All right.
And let me just double check that it's probably saved in my history. So if I type it in right now, it'll probably pop right. Yeah, Vita-stream.com. And the one that I got particularly was a Sport 5 Plus Endurance Peptides. That's what they are. Sport 5 Plus Endurance Peptide Complex.
Is it or no?
Am
I in the right place? VitaStream?
Yes, the third one. Yeah.
All right. So go where?
Well, the peptides you were on, they look like that. There's different ones. See, they got different complexes for depending on what you need them for.
Right here.
Like, yeah, to fix your eyes. They got stuff for injuries, for sports stuff.
Which one are you using?
Muscle repair. I was doing the 5. Go back again. Go back to the homepage the very first page you had up.
Okay.
I think it was right. Oh no, it was on my order. So it was the Sport 5 Complex. I think it was. I'm trying to scroll on your screen.
Sports 5. I don't even see where that is.
Just if type in the search bar, type in sport. It's I'm looking at my order. Hold on, I'm just looking at my order. So yeah, Sport 5 Plus Endurance Peptide Complex. Sport 5 Plus.
Of course it doesn't pop up.
What?
But this is it though, right?
That's the right site, yes. And it's legit. Like you're not gonna just put money into some place where it doesn't come back.
Natural.
It's the peptide complexes probably. Go back. This is a fun little thing we're doing on the live stream. Go. I saw the one that you should click. It was because it's a peptide complex. I saw something that said peptide complex, but you clicked on something else instead.
Right here.
There you go. Peptide complexes, yeah.
All right.
And mine is in a blue pad, like a light blue.
Urinary system.
See, they've got it for everything, dude. There's you can really take it far.
This is what I need right here. My digestive system's all fucked up. Nervous system, damn, visual.
Yeah, you know what I would say, dude? Get them now before the freaking FD. The Sport 5 Plus. There's the one I got. Sport 5 Plus. On the bottom, third one from the left, second one from the right. Yep, that's it.
And let's see. Wow. All right, ship it. I want some of this. And you like felt a difference from taking this, like or what?
Almost immediately.
In what way?
No more pain.
Wow. And like what?
And not because I took Tylenol type of thing. Like it got repaired inside of there, and not because of like a painkiller. Obviously, it's because your body's rebuilding itself. Wow. Yeah. So I mean, get them before the FDA shuts down and says this is too effective and too healthy. I don't know. But I don't think they can though because it's from Russia. So,
So
they'd have to like block importation from Russia, which they're apparently not doing.
You're assuming this not to be up for too much longer. Like you feel like they're going to shut
I hope it. Maybe they did this. They did something like that with knack for a bit. Like you couldn't find that for a bit. It's interesting. I don't even want to get into it, but it's just a weird thing going on right now, dude. It is a strange. Well, it's not that strange. It just boils down to money. It boils down to who's making money, who wants to keep making that money, and what they're going to do to make sure they keep making as much of it as possible and more of it, and not have anything get in the way of that as much as possible. That's what it boils down to. It's pretty simple.
It's whoever has the more power, bro.
I guess. I signed off of that subscription a long time ago.
Yeah. 100%.
For me, it's whoever has the more peace. That's where the win is in my book.
Peace, you say? Oh, I'm glad you brought up the topic peace.
Right.
I made some good peace not too long ago. Yeah, some peace I think you'd be proud of.
Okay.
And making this piece led me to learn some information about what's happening, in other parts of the industry, bigger people in the industry. And when I say people, just bigger things like bigger brands and whatnot. You're familiar with Nerd, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know I'm familiar with Nerd, and that's 100%. And with my history, and yeah, man, guess who I hung out with this weekend? Can you guess? Can you maybe drop a guess and who I maybe got to hang out with?
Probably be pretty easy for me to guess that one because I probably hung out with him too. And I'm going to say he's the only person I know that was there from Nerd, but maybe you hung out with the Bartcheks. Maybe you did both. I'm going to say Jeremy Turgeon.
Maybe we did both. I'm pretty sure we did both, and we had a hell of a time. But he also he tuned me in on some information that I had no idea about. So I was like, man, what better time to bring Jeremy on to let Kusko know that, hey, we're buddies now. Everything's good. And he's here now.
I guess I should have guessed that, I guess. I should have guessed Jeremy. I don't know why I didn't guess Jeremy.
Nobody did. And he's probably driving and he has a black screen. Jeremy, can you hear us? Are you tapped in?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Woo!
Oh, I can't see your beautiful face. This is bullshit.
I know. Sorry. It's fucking dark out.
Oh, your video is actually on. We just can't see you.
Yeah,
you might see a silhouette of my scruffy ass face.
None of that.
Jeremy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm fucking exhausted. I've been up for 16 hours today, but I'm doing pretty fucking good.
I bet. You've been nonstop since the Tinley weekend, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I flew back into Georgia Tuesday and have been working in Georgia up until now. And I'm driving back to North Carolina. I've got probably a full day of snake work tomorrow, and then I'm doing a show in Greensboro, North Carolina this weekend. And then Monday I go back down to Georgia for some more work.
Now, I mean, I don't know if this is shocking to anyone else. It was super shocking to me, but from my understanding, you're no longer working for Nerd no more. You're done with Nerd.
That is correct. I left Nerd probably about 6 weeks ago now.
Wow. And have you been kind of like public about it, or has it just been kind of just like, you're just doing it and doing your own thing type of thing?
Oh, he's definitely been public about it.
Okay, I've heard it.
Yeah, I made a post about it publicly after I got, I had some ducks that I had to get into a row to make it all happen. But yeah, I made it public. It wasn't a departure due to anything negative. I got some opportunities based in North Carolina that were mainly musical, but some animal opportunities too that I couldn't pass up, and mostly music stuff. But yeah, it was one of those, like, if I said no, I would have been kicking myself in the next 2 years that I didn't take them. And I'm not really in a position to turn that kind of shit down.
If I remember correctly, when the pandemic happened, that's when your music career really took a hit, right? Like shit went really bad with your music stuff, and I think you hit like a bit of depression during that time, right?
Yeah, I was like rocking up through COVID, man.
Right.
Like COVID totally took me out. I had teaching residencies and gigs. I probably lost about $50,000 to $60,000 worth of income during COVID. Stopped me from traveling, everything, teaching, everything.
Right.
And I definitely went through like a massive depression. Like everything that I went to school for and everything like just stopped in the drop of a hat. And I was like, did I just waste all this time, you know, learning music, learning how to play my instrument, learning the music business? Like, you know, as a performer, it sucks. But looking at it from the bigger impact it had on the music and performance arts industry, I mean, dude, the whole industry was fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in a big way.
I mean,
We had our first festival around here that we had a little mini festival. It's a thing called Whale Rock, and they didn't have it the one time for the first time, and they've had it. We just did like a little mini one. It was like 30 or 40 people at the place where there's usually, you know, thousands of people, and we just did a little tiny performance at the local winery. But this last time they had it back, you could feel it. Like a lot of the artists that came, like Michael Franti was playing, Ben Harper was playing, some other folks like that aren't as big but equally good, and a lot of them are talking about how this is just like, oh man, we're so happy that we're back here playing and this is finally happening again. And it's
yeah. Yeah, exactly. We had my hometown in Springfield, Massachusetts, finally had their jazz festival again this past August, and it's nice to go down. I drove down to catch the after party because I was still working at Nerds, so I was busy during the day. But it was great to just see the city bustling again after, you know, essentially being deserted. I mean, I remember driving down from New Hampshire to like the Maryland, D.C. area, driving through Manhattan, and there was like 4 people on the street. Like 4 people on the street in fucking Manhattan.
That's nuts.
What?
It's hey, how creepy was that? Probably creepier than shit. It's like not like fucking.
It was literally like every time you see like fucking New York getting destroyed in an action movie, and you see like
I Am Legend.
Yeah, exactly. Like that one sad motherfucker that's like, what's going on? Like, that was it, man.
Jeremy, you look like I do when we're having phone conversations when I'm driving back home at night. Can't see nothing. Dude, me and this guy have some hilarious phone conversations sometimes, man, and good, really good phone conversations. But the last one in particular, there was some heavy laughter.
The
whole house on that conversation. I was laughing so damn much.
Hey guys, I hate to say that, I hate to do it, but I'm getting the call from above that I got 5 minutes because everybody needs to go to this place and I need to take them.
You have to wrap it up
in about 5 minutes. Otherwise, I'm gonna have, you know, it's like,
oh my Lord, this has never happened. Okay, well, hold on real quick before we do that. Jeremy, I have to ask you real quick, what's the future holds for you now? You know, I mean, as far as your relation with the animals, your own projects and whatnot, I have to know.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I'm down here primarily for music stuff, but the nice thing is I'm working as my own boss down here. So my animals came down with me to North Carolina. So you know, the breeding season's coming up, man. I'm looking at probably 50 or so clutches between 5 or 6 different species.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
With plenty more on the way. So nothing is slowing me down. That's for damn sure.
I'm glad to hear. Do you have anything wrapped up for Jeremy before he leaves Kusko?
Oh, he's just in and out like that? All right. Yeah, no, I mean, dude, it was great to see you this weekend. Freaking love you, man. We had a great time always. Like, you need to come out here to California so I can show you some of this coastal stuff, dude. And get your ass out of LA too, because I know you ain't been to LA and California. That's unacceptable.
Absolutely, bro. LA is literally top 3 places I need to get back to as soon as possible.
No, I just told you need to go somewhere besides LA. You're not listening.
Come to San Diego. Come south.
LA is default. It's fucking California. Nobody knows anything but LA.
Such a travesty.
Music-wise, he's right. Nobody knows anything but Hollywood and LA when it comes to music. That's for sure.
Right.
San Francisco, the Warfield.
You're right.
Freaking.
My bad. I'm talking about nowadays. I'm talking about now.
The Fillmore.
Gonna make it. Sorry.
Those are what we call pit stops.
Right. Jeremy, hey, you have safe travels, my man. I had a great time with you over the weekend, and I can't wait to link with you at the next show, bro. Be safe.
Thank you, man. Absolutely. It was great to talk to you guys.
Later, bro.
Later, brother. That makes me very happy. That makes me very happy.
I knew it would.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that. I really am, man.
I had a great time with them. You know, you got to understand. Okay, at the end of the day, we kind of mentor and inspire the same fucking teenager who I've known since 14,
right.
who I met through Forest, and that's Lucas. I
Yeah,
love
Lucas.
that kid.
I know.
That kid is.
I had a feeling that would work. I knew he was friends with both of you guys, and then he was there too. And like, I guess that would have made total sense. I didn't think about it that deeply because I was doing 100 other things at that moment. But when I realized that Lucas was there too, and that Jeremy was there, and that you were there,
right.
I should have pieced it together that could work out. But it's beautiful, and because I know you guys had definitely had some falling out stuff, and like I was definitely on the phone with both of you about it at one point. And yeah, that's great. I love that.
I love this. Great episode. Can't wait to have you on again. Go do what you got to do with the family, but tell them I love them. Tell them I miss them. Tell them I can't wait to hang out with them again, especially 100%. Eli. You know, Eli's right here, and Leia. They're all Hillary. All of them. There's not one. I love your family on the same level. So crazy, it's ridiculous. It's just and I love you, of course, too. Thank you, Kusko, so much for being awesome and being here. And we'll talk soon, bro.
Yes, sir. Love you, man. I'll call you when I come back from dinner. Okay.
Yes, please. Have a good night.
Thanks,
Thank you. Wow, what a short trap talk with MJ. My bad. I wasn't looking out. I wasn't looking to clock out this early, but it is what it is. In-N-Out's coming sooner than I thought, and I'm gonna fuck me up some In-N-Out. Thank you guys so much. It was an hour and 15 minutes, but it was an hour and 15 minutes of some straight gold. MJ and Kusko going back and forth. We had Jeremy on to kind of give us an update on what's going on in his life. You got to understand, he's in charge or was in charge of a big fucking brand. Nerd, right? Nerd is huge. Nerd is still huge. But they're downgrading all their big snakes and all this other stuff. There's so much going on the back end. Time will tell what really happens. I'm just happy for Jeremy. The man is pursuing his music passion. I am somebody who was once trying to chase a passion or trying to chase a career in music. Didn't work out too well for me. Still love it though. Still DJ every now and then. But yeah, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for tapping in. Before you dip out, help Kusko get his likes to 100 like to view ratio right now for my man Kusko. Let's see if YouTube is going to diminish his likes like they did on round 3 with him. I appreciate everyone in the comments. You guys are like real day oneers for sure. So shout out to all my early birds who are the late birds and just kicking it. You know what I mean? I'm going to shout somebody out right here. Shout out to the homie D's Balls and Exotics. That's my boy. Shout out to the homie Aiden Burke. Hey, dude, the youngest trapper. I'm telling you right now, this fool's in the trap Patreon, fam. He's funny. And he's sick as hell when it comes to establishing emerald tree boas. He has an emerald tree boa by the name of Mr. Pickles. He has a bunch of other sick shit going on. And I'm going to once I produce that beaded lizard, that pure Rio Fuerte, it's going to you, Aiden. I got you. Family Jewels, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. The General, I appreciate your super chat as always. My man's never cheap. It's my man, the General. Please go give him a follow. Nate, thank you for tapping in. Matt Summers, I hope you're rested, my man, because we got a trip in a couple weeks. Oh, yes. Make sure you go follow Matt Summers right now. This guy's a hitter, okay? And not only that, he's my travel and audio manager for Trap Talk with MJ. So go fuck with him. He's Trap Family all day, every day. You got to make sure you go follow him, man. Go follow my homie, Tyler King. What is it? Uplift Exotics? Is that right? Damn, I got caught. Hey, Mosh Balls. Hey, shout out to Mosh Balls. I got to meet Mosh Balls over the weekend. Michelle, you and your husband are awesome. Got to take a cool pic with them. I feel like I got to meet a lot of cool people, but it was special to meet Mosh Balls right here in the building. So shout out to Mosh Balls. Thank you so much for being so awesome. Shout out to homie Deviant Glass. What is good, my player? Derek Pide's in the building. Day one homie all day, every day, repping Oceanside. Is it Oceanside? I hope I said that right. Aurora, what is good, homegirl? Cheers to you. And cheers to everyone else. Homie Jay Hendo, killing it. You're killing it, Jay Hendo. Yeah, you're killing it. All right. You're killing it. HK Constriction. What is good, homie? Thank you. Nice job to you as well. Far Out Exotics. I'm about to be far out on some In-N-Out burger. Babe, what is good? I hope you're hungry because I am hungry. I'm kind of excited this ended early. I'm not going to lie, but I'm just going to give out more shout outs because I like shouting people out. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. Eric's Morse Factory. Thank you for tapping in. The homie BH Okay, this for right here, BRH Reptiles. I keep seeing this guy at almost every show I go to, and he always creeps up. Doesn't creep up, but he pulls up, shows mad love. Go give him a follow right now. I need to get this fall on Trap Talk too. Guy has some heat. I'm telling you right now, you want to go fuck with him. BRH Reptiles. Thank you for your support. And guys, next week, I got something very special lined up, and somebody who's really going to open up to us, somebody who's going to really just be on that unfiltered type vibe. And that's just how it is when you're on Trap Talk. But anyways, don't forget tomorrow, I'm dropping that Trap Talk, I'm dropping that Snake Trap Sessions vlog, which has my beautiful wife thumbnail. So you guys got to make sure you tap in tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check out vlog 26. Check out the visit to Reptarium. It was a lot of fun. Nobody got hurt. Thank you so much for tapping in on this episode. You guys are amazing. Please subscribe. Please like. Please dislike. Drop a comment. If you guys need to get a hold of me, you guys know what the deal is. Instagram all day. mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. And please go follow the Trap Talk with MJ Podcast Instagram. Shout out to all my Twitch viewers. If you want to support this channel more than a subscription, PayPal is mjexoticscartal 619. All super chats go to USARK immediately. Go support USARK and my Patreon family member is with an S. Whew. I love my Patreon family so much. Shout out to all my Patreon family members. I will see you this Sunday. And best believe it, it's going to go down. I'll see you next week. I'm out.